Hello everyone. Um, Today I would like to introduce you as a demo presentation for one of these Android app we developed. This is part of the activity we joined for Big Tiger study community. If you have interested, you can go to Big Tiger. There are plenty of fancy projects here. You can choose anyone to start as a hobby. For us, we have interested in this Java and Android, so we want to do some real um, apps. So we have three people. We have Jane. She's a fancy lady um, in China, in Wuhan, my hometown. And also this is me. I'm living in Munich, in Germany. And also we have Mark. He's a cool guy in New York. So, and this is the and all we have uploaded all our code into the repository belongs to the BitTiger organization. I don't know whether you can visit or not, but you can. Please have a look and give us good suggestions. Okay, so let's go back to our project. What they do is they want to develop an Android app like this, which you can scroll down and the picture will be automatically downloaded, and if they reach the limit of the old pictures, then they start to automatically download in the background, so you won't, or maybe there are a few minutes seconds delay, but they will keep downloading, so the pictures won't stop. You can always see pictures, and they can support keyword search. So example, I'm searching Olympic, Brazil. Yeah. So you can see that you can import any keywords, and then they will be used as a query. And this query will be used as a HTTP request sent to Flickr website. And they will download the real pictures that you are interested in. And you can also play, and also if you don't want people to see what you have downloaded, you have searched, you can use a clean button. So yeah, you see, they won't keep your search history anymore. And maybe you have, if you have, or you can also use the voice input. Tiger, tiger. Okay, they're not working really well always. This has been recommended. This is actually a standard API, but not recommended to use. Okay, so what kind of knowledge you need to? You need to basic Java knowledge, Android knowledge, and then of course you need to understand how to use to download the picture and to send a search request that is use HTTP JSON knowledge. Also, you have to understand the front end UI presenting, this is the rendering, and meanwhile in the background they are downloading pictures. This is a synchronous loading process. You need to have a little bit of knowledge about this. And also to extend your UI knowledge, you should understand this is a fragment which we bound it into a view. The fragment we can define into like a recycle view. That's why how it can recycling down, down, down. And this is the search view. You know how to define a search view inside the fragment. You need to know how to build up your Android Studio project in the use this AS tool from scratch. Of course, you need to know how to cooperate with people, especially like our team from China, Germany, and US. This is an international team. Okay. So let's see how we can implement such a project step by step. The first thing is that if you have totally no knowledge of Android, then I recommend you to look into two books. One is called the First Code of Android, which tells you the entry-level knowledge, the four main component, broadcast, intent, also there's a book called like this one, Android Programming, the Beginner Guide, Ranch Guide. It actually has an example, tells you how to do a similar project like this. But what is more is we in our project we use some fancy tools instead of this instead of the example mentioned in this book. So we have much more intelligent implementation. Okay, so let's go back to this project. Okay, first you create a brand new project, and then go to your Gradle. Here, please include these tools that we want you to use. This is V4 and V7. It means that there are some third-party or intended packages we want to use, like Volley and also Glide for this project, but they are not naturally supported. So, and also the fragment is coming from the V4 version. Once you have included this, then they will be recognized and built automatically by this project. And looking to the manifest, that's where all the components and views has been defined. We can see we have actually 3 pages. The first page is the page we started. Once we start this activity, we will have a 1-page main activity, main view. That is the main activity. Just do nothing, but this is where they launched. And then after 2 seconds delay, they directly jump to the second page. This is the gallery activity, and we defined it to be a single talk. That means once it has been created, it won't be instantiated again. And we also have search. We have the search activity inside the second gallery activity. That's where we have to define. And this search tools, how to define the search settings, we define in these external files. And finally, as you remember, that every time when you click the picture, you see, this is the main page, and this is the second page. Before all the pictures downloaded, it's only a blank page. And once you click page, to go to the third page. So click the image, to go to the third page is the photo activity. Here you can go to further actions like download picture or open picture, which will redirect you to the real website of the Flickr. And you have further information. Okay. So let's go back to the project. So because we have 3 activities, that means we have to define the main activity here. And this is how use the handler to, after 2 seconds, they automatically handle the intent. The intent triggers to start the second activity. And this is the second activity, gather activity, which do nothing but defines the fragment. And also, if they have search, if you every time you have a search keyword, what they do is they refresh the fragment. If you want to see how the fragment is implemented, it's actually start downloading the related pictures. And also, is the third activity. The third activity do nothing but to present the full picture. And okay, so this is the 3-page. So you can see all the complexities are actually within the gallery activity, which goes to the fragment. So this is where all the features implemented. Okay, so how to do it? You can't do it in one step, right? So what I would suggest that you have a local picture which is stored in your local machine, and before you start to implement, start downloading these complicated functions, what you do is you just use this local picture, and you define an array list. You define an array list, and you try to attach this single page for all these places. You attach it into the adapter. This is the array list to save all your objects of one page, of one picture, or a text combined with a picture or whatever combination. This is the gallery. This is the adapter. This helps the recycler view to present so many objects in this recycling way. Of course, you can go into the adapter to see how it is really implemented. They do nothing but just define how each text view or image view, what's this the behavior. For example, click them, they go to a new page, or then started the new activity, and how to present them. This is the glide. The glide is helping us to transform your object into a real picture that the recycler layout can recognize. And so in that way, if you can correctly implement this part, then you will see 100 pictures in one group that same pictures presenting in your mobile. If you scroll down, they will repeatedly present. This is the recycle view part. Once this is correct, then you can still go to the next step to implement the start downloading. And in this step, you have to implement this JSON request. The JSON request, they use actually a query, because remember every time you input some keywords, they can be embedded into this JSON query to tell the website what kind of topic pictures you are interested. So they will download in the response of a group of pictures. Actually, it's one page. It's the first page of the latest pictures published. They store it, the pictures, store it into array, and then array or the results will be added into adapter, then adapter attached to the recycle view, then a guide will help you to present them. For how to actually to manipulate this JSON request, you have to look into how to define this item. This item here is actually the format of the Flickr API. So please have a look. Please have a look into the Flickr API. First, you have to apply for a Flickr account. Then you have to get some confidential API keys about it. For example, this is my API key. Of course, you can have yourself. And then here that defines what kind of is your request format. And here that defines you the page number you have been sending the request to. Yeah. If you don't have any query, then they will just download the first page one. Otherwise, they go to use your query. Okay. So, and as I said, we have a search button here. So, to implement the search view, you have to create options menu. The options menu is defined in the menu. So this tells you that I have two buttons. One is for search, one is for delete. The delete helps you to delete the search history. For example, and this way you have to write your corresponding functions of your button. You can start your search query, suggestion click, and get suggestion. All your search is handled by the search manager. And of course, what is this items used for is defined here on menus item selected. So once you want to search, they go to search. Once you go to delete, then they delete the history. Okay. So that's a rough introduction of how this Flickr application has been completed. If you have difficulties and you need to cooperate with your mentor, and they will help you very enthusiastic. And if you have a big problem, you have to split it into small pieces. So you can locate your problem, exactly problem is. And please use to debug tool. Please get used to this debugging tool. And all your debugging information will be presented in the console. This will help you to see sometimes when your UI crashes, but the data is correct. So then you focus only on the UI. For example, in this case, the pictures has been downloaded. If they're not showing in your view, then you can see maybe your glide or your second view done working there. What is the next step? Next step is, well, we should combine Flickr. For example, we can click some new items here that not just download the picture, but send the picture and combine to other applications which we can combine and combined. So, for example, save it in WeChat or post it in the friends cycle. So that will be more fun. And for my own self, I would suggest like maybe we can use some GPS location information here. So you don't need to, for example, combine it with some Google Maps. So you don't need to really input keywords. You have to see some pictures which is quite attached to yourself. That will be make you really interested. How to teamwork? Yeah, team cooperation is a key issue. Especially we have an international team. We have time zones differently. So it's good for us that we fix a time like every Saturday or Sunday. We have a weekly meetup, and daily we have issues. We use Slack and WeChat to very quickly communicate and synchronize our problems, and try to help others. Uh, Everyone can learn from each other. So in conclusion, this Android app is a very appropriate project to help startups, the fresh guys, to learn the basic concepts of this Android development. For example, what is the view? What is the intent? How the intent to use the jumping and interactions with these views, and also use the fragment instead of the single huge page of view. The fragment which can have many flexibilities. For example, use the recycling view to present such a fancy recycling feature, and also you can understand this kind of complex front-end UI plane, and actually how it is in interaction with the asynchronized backend downloading picture. All the pictures downloaded, they may be temporarily saved in a queue, so you can reuse these pictures from this queue. You don't need to always download new pictures, right? Only if you reach the button and there are no new pictures, then the start downloading will be triggered. And of course, this search feature is a fancy feature of the Flickr. That's how to make people really focus on this application. Yeah, it would be great if we later on we have like GPS location, or we can directly post these pictures into our WeChat or WhatsApp. Then this application can be more helpful. Okay, so that's it. If you have interested in our code, please go to this is well or all code exist, and we have also these PowerPoints, which is like a menu, help you to understand how these components are implemented and what is the relation between them. Okay, so that's it, and thanks for your time for listening.